All right, I am live. Let's go live. I don't think there's anybody. Is there anybody there? Say something if you're there. Hi. Hey, somebody's here. How's it going? Two people even. That's exciting. Good. Waiting for this PDF I was working on to export, and I can't figure out why the front page isn't exporting the cover image. So, working on that. In the meantime. Hey, Tobar Step has subscribed to me on YouTube. Well, that's super kind of you. Thank you. I'm not that exciting. Okay, so we got two people. This might be a very quick. Very quick stream. What questions do you have? Let's chat. What do you want to know? It's good. It's literally what I was working on prior to maybe like half an hour ago. I can't say much until everything's like done, obviously, but we've been getting approvals back. Things are going good. They've been really complimentary about it. So I think we're on track. We feel pretty good about it. We're starting to work on we're starting to work on some of the last stage production stuff before printing. So as things roll out, we are just kind of keeping up on it. Yeah. Definitely a lot harder on a project that I can't talk about as much because I'm used to being able to control that. So it's definitely different. Yeah. That's its own sort of question with a lot of complicated answers. Hey, Mike. First of all, I'm really glad you like it. You should tell Robert Bucky that you liked it if you get the chance. He's in the GKG Facebook group, so you should totally tell him there if you get the chance. Savage Worlds is its own sort of thing in a lot of ways. It's its own kind of thing. The audience for Savage Worlds wants a very particular type of product a lot of the time, very specific sort of structure. And the audience for and the way I design games and what I make doesn't necessarily fit that structure, which is one reason Robert did such good work is he was building inside that framework that a lot of their fans really like. And that's not the inherent way I build products. If that makes sense, like I should just move this over here so I can talk to you like this. This is way easier. I don't know what I'm losing my mind. So that's definitely its own kind of thing. And so it just makes it hard to build products for that rule set because the audience isn't inherently receptive to what I'm doing. And there's that dilemma of if I design something in a way I don't want to, am I being passionate enough and exciting enough about it? So I love Savage Worlds. I just got the new box set. I super want to do more with it, but I've got to find the right thing. Like that's just kind of where it lands. Yeah, and originally we had planned to do a Mechas and Monsters conversion to Savage Worlds. That never panned out because of the rule set change, and we had other Savage Worlds products we were working on. And so we sort of just scrapped it, put it on hold, whatever. And I haven't gotten towards it really, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to at this point. It might just be one of those products that falls by the wayside in a lot of ways. If that makes sense. Yes, Mike, it totally is, and it's one of my favorite games that we've made. So, very excited about that. Tiny Frontiers is already included. We made an announcement in July. I think it's in there now on the Tiny Trove. Let me look now. Now you've got me worried that I didn't do it. Content guidelines. Nope. Tiny Frontiers Revised is on the list. I'm going to post the link in the chat right here so you can see that I'm not crazy. Boom. Click that link. It'll take you right to the page where the stuff. But yeah, Tiny Frontiers is in there, so people can totally do Tiny Frontier stuff. We have an asset pack for it out there and everything. And more is coming. There will probably be a new book added in September, which should be pretty great. It'll be Wastelands. So. Yes, Tiny Cyberpunk is in development. I have the cover. We have it in the interior art. The rules are in playtesting. So hopefully I can start reviewing some of Tiny Cyberpunk soon. That's the hope, at least. Mike asked a question. Second edition a long ways off. I assume you have higher priority stuff you're working on. Well, second edition is actually super close to done mechanically, other than I'm not happy with how I don't feel like it says enough new to be a second edition, and I know what I wanted to say, and it's just the answer is, am I getting it to say that adequately? And I'm not happy with where it is. So it's just going under. It's at a stage where it's constantly undergoing refinement. Um, and I think what I need to do, and what I really want to do, is expand the GMing section to talk more about campaigns that you might be playing. Because I think that's what I need to be doing to make it work. So, but that is also sort of just up in the air in a lot of ways, right? You never really. The new art is fantastic. I definitely feel like it's a step forward in what we're trying to do. So it's just a matter of getting the rest of it right. So, yeah. We have some more people joining us. Feel free to ask any questions. And we can sort of go from there. Happy to answer whatever I can. So, yeah. These things always kind of shape up slowly before they really get going. What else can I answer for folks? What would you like to know? What would you like to hear? Oh, geez. That's a rough one. So I wanted to make a sword and sorcery game. I didn't want to just make Conan Redux, because other games have done that really well, or there's the actual Conan RPG, so there's not a lot of motivation for me to just create something that's the same as something else. And I really like survival horror gaming, and I really like the resource die mechanic, and I feel like it's wasted only on gear, right? I feel like having it tied to stats, things like blood and your purchasing, like there's a lot you can do with it. That's just not just like arrows or you know. Um, so that was probably it was a collection of things I wanted to do, and they all sort of when I was working on something, and they all sort of just coalesced into this one thing. Um, I've always loved the waking up with amnesia like character start, and so I wanted to build a whole RPG set to enable that immediately. Um, and every time I've ran a campaign, they wake up with no memories, no gear, nothing, and I will kill them in the first session if they don't get their crap together and move on. It's a game I run. It's probably one that lets me indulge my kill the players bent a little more than necessary, but that's what I do with it. Yeah. So, yeah. Uh, any other questions? Something you want me to expand on? Anything else? Um, yes, that's a matter of licensing and approval and reception. I mean, if everybody hates what we did, there's not a lot of incentive to put more money into it. And development takes time. We have been developing stuff for future products, but we're kind of going to see where that lands. So, yes, there is stuff in progress. Specifically, the oft requested generic core book that handles multiple genres, right? And the idea would be to do a 200-page, this is everything kind of core book with like campaign setting add-ons of smaller books that show how you can modify, tweak the rules, whatever. So that's kind of where we are with that. That makes sense. So, I love it. It's a dear game to me, and I'm really excited that I got the chance to do this and be a part of its history, even if it's only Zorro, which I really hope it's not. The pulp and noir sections go good. Part of that is finding what we want to say with Tiny D6 because the system is so light. Pulp. What do you need for pulp? Like, is there anything that pulp doesn't cover mechanically? And the answer is not really. You kind of do everything. We do have some stuff we talk about in there that I think helps with pulp. And noir mostly deals with investigations. It really doesn't modify the core Tiny D6 stuff a lot. Just adds an extra layer of rules around it for investigations and similar. So, I think it works. I don't think you're missing out on anything because I think it adds a new. No, it doesn't. I don't think it adds anything new other than just the investigation rules with noir. Which are a significant section in of themselves, at least 6 pages, in tiny book size. But there's like not new any traits. There's no new archetypes for it. All that stuff's already in the core Cthulhu rules anyway. So, but no, they're good. Really, the hardest one is Diesel Punk because Diesel Punk is basically, like, being honest, it's kind of just the vehicle rules from Tiny Wastelands with some extra stuff. How the vehicle operates versus is really more fluffy flavor than something that you need mechanically. So, we're trucking along. Any other questions? You want to know more about Tiny Cthulhu? What would you like to know? I'm really bad at waxing poetic about stuff, so I don't just go on when you ask me questions. I'm really sorry. If you want more details, say more details, and I'll keep going. Um, but my inherent nature is to try to be as succinct as possible, which is probably the least interesting way to host a live stream, and I'm realizing that now, and I'm very sorry. Yeah. Oh, well, that's appreciated. Thank you very much. I am funny. That is what people say about me. They're like, that Alan guy, he's hilarious. I'm pretty sure nobody says that about me. I've been starting model painting, which is not a thing I do normally. And shocking nobody, I have been starting to paint giant robots that punch stuff. So the lighting's really terrible in here, my new office at the new house. But trying to figure out how to paint this thing, and it's proving interesting because I don't paint much and I don't have a good concept of what to do. So that's been sort of a fun, different thing for me lately. But yeah, giant robots, and I'm gonna go around smashing cities with them. So that's kind of fun. And I got my 3D printer. You can't see it, but it's over there, and it's out of filament, so I'm not doing anything with it right now, which is good because it's noisy. But I made this. I'm starting to make some like dungeon terrain. You can see it's red originally. Yeah. Mike, that miniature was from the Privateer Press game Monster Apocalypse. I believe that is the guard monster from the starter box, but I could be wrong. There's like two. I don't remember which one I have here. So. Nice. Yeah, so I got these all those paints you see are the new Games Workshop contrast paints, which are like super beginner friendly because they do the washing and the basing for you all at once. And it's been super great. Like I feel like I'm a lot better at painting than I am probably because I'm using these things. So. But yeah, I can't recommend them enough. They were great. They really helped me get right into it. So. The paints or the models, the giant monster models. The paints, you had to buy them individually. I just bought one of everything they had, though, so it's just like a full run of everything. Yeah, it was. I bought just one of every paint pot they had. So, and then their holder is just a nail holder from Amazon, and they fit perfectly. So it was great. Yeah, no, I'm not a good painter. I never enjoyed it. I've always gotten really frustrated at it. But these new contrast paints have made painting a lot more enjoyable, which is nice. So, yeah. Let's see. So we got Tiny Cthulhu in development. Back, Patron's got that. I am literally writing the next Tiny. I'm writing the rest of the year's Tiny zines right now. So they're just done. I'm putting them into layout, and as we're ready to go, we'll just roll them out. So we're not behind anymore because we're only through July. So I got August, September, October, November. So I got 5 more to go. So I got to write. No, that's not right. We ended with 8, and there was 9, 10, 11, 12. January is 9, February is 10, March is 11, April 12, 13 is May, and 14 was June. So I got July, August, September, October, November, December. So I got 6 Tiny zines to go. So I'm writing all 6 this weekend, and we're gonna get done. And I'm gonna load them up so they come out on time. And then when we're ready to go, every month at the first of the month, I'll just fire it out, and we'll be good to go. Which means you guys are gonna get like 3 this month, hopefully. So I have to do July, August, and then September to you this month. If you have suggestions for what you want to see in the Tiny zines, tell me. Let me know what you want to see, and I will totally try to. If it's something that I think is something people want, I'll try to include that. That's no problem. And then I'm also starting the adventure path. I'm hoping to do 1 a month. And we're gonna kind of see where that goes. And we'll do that. Um, yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we work really hard at it. I mean, I didn't do the original design, obviously. That was Smoking Salamander Games. But I like to feel like as we've got more into the weeds with it, as it's a Gallon Night IP for the last 4 years, um, I feel like we really made it our own, and we've added a lot to it that makes it kind of pop. And I think the reception it gets has um, borne that out. So I'm really stoked about that. Tiny, if I remember correctly, I have to check the Patreon because I don't remember. But there is let's see. So we haven't unlocked the monthly micro RPG. We're a little short of that. Oh, we lost some backers. That's too bad. But I do owe you 2 games for the $10 patrons, and the one of them is Tiny Pirates. What? Allow me to show you the art. Pirates. I have the cover art here. I'm going to show it to you, but I got to find it. There it is. Tiny Pirates. And cover art. How do I show you now? I would like to, is that it? No, that's share. I would like to show you this art, and it's proving difficult. How do I Man, you think I'd be less bad at technology, but I am. I feel like every year I'm actively getting worse at this. I will shoot the cover art into the Patreon, so all of you can see it. But Tiny Pirates is coming. I'm just finalizing it. Ben Warner, who worked on the Emmy-nominated 7th Sea Games for their Pirate Nations book, did a good chunk of the writing, and then I'm adding on to it. So it's going to be super slick. You're going to love it. Mike, I have been working on Not Tiny Street Fighter, and I want to do it. I just got to find the time to finish it. But it is on my list. Maybe I'll do that for one of the $10 Patreon games next year. But yeah, so that's all coming. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. I think it's great. Yeah, lowercase r is the only way to make an R, so that makes sense. Yeah, so that'll be a fun one to have out. I think people will like that one. Here we go. Did I get the cover? No. I'm going to post it in the Discord for patrons. And you guys can check it out there. So we'll do that. Let me do that. Why didn't this thingy happen? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm so bad at technology. There you go. Posted the cover in the patron Discord. I had to shrink it down because it was way too big and awesome. But you can check it out and get a feel for it. Cool. Yeah, right. Super cool. Are there any more questions? Anything anybody wants to know? So, trying to get back on the horse with these Patreon Q&A stuff after we've moved, and it's just been a lot. So, yeah, it's a good cover, right? So, I mean, we'll hang out for a few more minutes. If you have any questions, fire them at me and we'll keep talking. I don't want to short you guys the time you're owed. But yeah. Unlike Tiny Gunslingers, Tiny Pirates will likely go live quicker. Probably like right after I give it to Patreons, I will just charge more for it. We're trying to figure this out where you still get the reward for the constant yearly support. But we aren't harming people who are discovering stuff later either, right? It's like this really weird balancing act that's kind of odd to have to deal with. So we might try Pirates differently and see how that goes. Uh, well, it's already we delivered it to Patreons through Drive-Thru RPG. So I fully intend at one point someday to make it a thing that everybody has access to. But there's that, like I was just saying, there's that balancing act of, you folks have been paying $10 a month for 2 games a year plus all the extra stuff, right? So really, you're paying $5 a month for the monthly tiny zines, and then there's an extra $60 over the year for these 2 exclusive RPGs that you get the PDF for free and at cost, plus the dice and all the other stuff and the preview content. But I also don't want to deny folks the opportunity to get games and genres they like down the road. So what Tiny Gunslingers, we're keeping that one Patreon exclusive for probably several months a year. We'll see. And then Tiny Pirates, we might just make it live faster. I'm going to do a Patreon poll and I'm going to ask folks what they think. Because I don't want to short the folks who have been giving us support on a monthly basis. That's not at all the goal. So it's just that figuring out that happy balancing act. But if we don't put Tiny Gunslingers live, we'll probably trot it back out for Patreons to get as an update. Maybe down the road as like a bonus. Like if you sign up this month, we'll toss out Tiny Gunslingers. So yeah, it's odd. I don't know. We'll see. So and maybe what we'll do is instead of giving you a print, we'll give you the PDF for free. Instead of giving you a code, we'll actually mail everybody a print copy on us. Like the soft cover, and then if you want the hardcover, we'll do a code for that or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'm like thinking through the options. Yeah. So it's twice a year that we do it. So I'll post something like you have to be charged $10 in November, and that's the month where you get it. Or you have like normally it's like you have to have been charged at a certain point. So we're still kind of working out the details. Tiny Gunslingers was so late. We were originally going to try to release it in March, and it only is just getting out there in July due to everybody getting sick and falling behind and Kickstarters being late and moving. It's just been a lot. So we're kind of still sorting that out. and how that looks. But yeah, if you're already at $10, you'll get it. That's no problem. Oh, somebody asked about Zorro. Oh, look at that. There you go. Yeah, what else can I answer for you? Well, it seems like the questions are drying up. It's not a problem. We'll get better at this, and we'll get on a regular cycle. And we'll start scheduling them out in advance. I'm probably going to schedule October's now, like tomorrow or something with people, so we can do that, and we'll get sorted. But thanks for everybody for hopping in. It was a good time. Thanks for the questions. You can always reach me on the Patreon or in the Discord channel if you have follow-up questions or you want to know more. All right, folks, have a good one.